Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Jimmy Dore Show. I'm here with the miserable liberal and Ron Placone.
Hello.
Howdy, howdy.
So we all know how bad the Democrats are right now. I mean, they're in a horrible position. They're wiped out at the state level, meaning that they've lost two-thirds of the state legislatures. They lost two-thirds of the governorships. They've lost the House. They've lost the Senate. They've lost the presidency. And a lot of people say it's because their message is a little lacking. Like here's Hillary Clinton's message from last year. This is what she thought would get you to vote for her. You ready? This is from last year, March 30th, almost April. She says, some folks may have the luxury to hold out for the perfect, but a lot of Americans are hurting right now and they can't wait for that. So she's basically saying, I know I suck.
I'm a little imperfect.
Nobody likes me. Nobody wants to vote for me, but you have to. That's what that is, but you have to. That's what that is. I know we've been giving you a shit sandwich every 4 years. Even Barack Obama thought he was going to be a lot better than he was. Turns out he bailed out the banks, expanded the wars, practiced austerity, gave tax cuts to the wealthy, and made the banks bigger. Turns out he was the opposite of what we needed. Here's her message. Her message is, I'm horrible. Where else are you going to go? And what was their strategy? What was their strategy to get blue-collar voters? Right? That's not like, hey, I'm going to get you. We're going to turn this economy around. We're going to make it work for regular people. We're going to make affordable college. We're going to end these wars. We're going to get the economy working for regular people. We're going to end this income disparity. We're going to get everybody health care. It's like, hey, I suck, but what else are you going to do?
It's like a bad significant other trying to delay divorce. Well, you're not going to do any better than me.
That's exactly.
You're not going to do any better.
Wait till you see what it's like out there. Wait till you see what it's like out there. There's nothing but Martin O'Malley's, fucking Chuck Schumer's. So, by the way, so that was their message. This was their theory. This was their plan. This was their strategy. Remember, their plan was nothing. Their plan was, yeah, we suck, but where else are you going to go? That was their message. This was their strategy, their plan. Remember their plan?
For every blue-collar Democrat we will lose in Western PA, we will pick up 2-3 moderate Republicans in the suburbs of Philadelphia. And you can repeat that in Ohio and Illinois and Wisconsin.
I'm noticing a trend here. Well, you know what they say, 1 out of 4 ain't bad.
1 out of 4 ain't
You've heard
bad.
that, right? That's the thing they say.
Sure,
I think so. I
Positive
think that gets you in the
reinforcement.
Hall of Fame. So how did that strategy work out? Let's just say, like, if we were going to look, where did Trump increase the vote in America? That strategy, where did Trump increase the vote in America? Ooh, everywhere. So it was a bad strategy. What's the change in Democrats since 2008? Look at that ski. Look, we had it way up there, and then Barack Obama. That was the peak when Barack Obama became president. That was the peak. People were like, yeah, I want to be a Democrat because Barack Obama is a progressive and he's going to give the country back to the people. Oh, he kind of didn't do it. Oh, he kind of didn't do it. Man, he really didn't do it. And then, bam, just falls off a cliff. And then after they lost in 2016, still, nope, they had no message and bad strategy. How were they going to change?
The Democratic Party is in a moment of questioning about its identity. You were reelected to lead the Democrats in the House. What do you tell Democrats who want a new direction and then go to you? What are you going to do differently?
Well, I don't think that people want a new direction.
Now, I know you've seen these videos, this stuff before. By the way, how do you plan on winning? By what unites you?
Values unify us.
Okay, that was it. Her values unify that. So guess what? They had their 2 worst fundraising months since the beginning of the Iraq War, the Democratic National Committee. The Democrats are hurting. They lost 4 special elections since Trump won. 4. They're still losing. So Russia, Trump's bad. Turns out that doesn't win elections. in fact, that loses elections. In fact, the Democrats are lower in approval ratings than the Republicans. Here's Chuck Schumer. Here's Chucky the Schum. By the way, Chucky the Schum, I don't want to say anything, but he did get rid of the old man glasses. So maybe he's watching our show, Ron.
Yeah.
Maybe it does.
Yeah, maybe he saw that. He was
Boy,
like, oh, that's what I look like?
This doesn't stir voters. This doesn't get voters to come to the polls.
Hey, ladies.
To look, look like the guy who just denied their last. No, you don't have enough credit hours to graduate. That's what I look like. That doesn't get people to the polls. Right away, you're gonna notice he did ditch the creepy glasses. So I'm guessing he's watching some of our videos. But here we go. He's talking with George Snuffleupagus, and he's gonna ask him what we've just been talking about.
Democrats lost another special election this week in Georgia. Georgia 6. That's 4 in a row.
Hey, Democrats collect the whole set. They got 4 in a row. Boom, we got the whole set. Okay, here we go.
Led to a lot of second guessing by prominent Democrats, including Tim Ryan, Congressman Tim Ryan, who said our brand, want to show it right there, our brand is worse than Trump.
Pow.
Wow. So Tim Ryan's telling the truth so much, he better get ready for a random redistricting. Am I right? Hey, Dennis Kucinich.
It wouldn't be the first time that happened to an Ohio progressive.
That's exactly what happened to an Ohio progressive. So, and by the way, they lost the state houses, state governorships, the House of Reps, the Senate, the presidency, 4 straight special elections. At this rate, I think the only thing the Democrats could win is maybe at a game of Uno. Let's get back to Chucky.
Okay, here's the number one lesson from Georgia 6. Democrats need a strong, bold, sharp-edged, and common-sense economic agenda.
You know, the kind of thing that Bernie Sanders has been fucking screaming at the top of his lungs for over a year and a half. You know, the things that all the progressives have been saying. You know, all the people that we've been shitting on nonstop and dismissing. The people I said to turn our backs on and go focus on Republican voters in the suburbs. Remember that? Yeah, all those people. Yeah. You know, I'm the leader, and I've been wrong. I've been unbelievably wrong. And now we're going to start listening to, I don't know, progressives? Is that what it sounds like? Let's see.
Policy, platform, message that appeal to the middle class, that resonate with the middle class, and show that, and unite Democrats.
So when he says middle class, I wonder who he's talking. Are you talking about truck drivers? Are you talking about truck drivers, firemen, teachers, waitresses? Those kind of middle class people? Or are you talking about white collar suburban voters? Is that the middle? I think that's the middle class he's talking about. I don't think he's talking about Bernie Sanders voters. And I could be wrong about this, but it sounds like more bullshit.
Yeah.
It does, right?
It sounds like he's only speaking to the people that are awake and watching the show.
So,
You know, because everybody else is working. Trying to provide for their family. They don't have the luxury to watch him pretend that he's going to fight for some sort of justice for us.
Well, if he is only speaking to the people that are paying attention and watching, then there's probably tons of people screaming at the TV right now, "We told you so!"
Yes, exactly right, Ron. And I'm one of those people. I think everyone in this room is.
That's what I've been working on for months.
Months, no kidding.
Couple months ago, it just dawned on me. I had a flashback to November 9th, and I was like, ah, shit. You know what?
Whew, I haven't laughed that hard since I watched Tim Black get interviewed by a failed comedian. Whew. Ha! Oh, boy. He's been working on this for months. You just can't tell because he's been keeping it to himself. He's been keeping it to himself, talking mostly about Russia and Trump. What's that economic plan? I would love to hear what that platform is.
And I've been talking to Democrats, House and Senate, all across the country. I've been talking to Trump voters. I was at a Yankee game Saturday night, and I sat next to someone, just because that's how the seats were. We sit in the grandstand where...
This guy is so desperate to appear like a regular person. He wants to explain. He wants you to know that he understands how seating at baseball games work. No, it's just the way it is. A regular person gets to sit right next to someone like me. Can't stop it. I said, hey, do you know I know Lloyd Blankfein personally? They're like, sorry, that's not how it works. It's a baseball game. I'm like, I have to sit next to like a fucking truck driver? Well, let's see.
I'm proud to be a deplorable voter, a truck driver.
That is who he had to sit next to. Huh.
He can say that he's sitting by deplorables. He's owning it now.
Yeah.
As if they meant to use that term, as if that term was useful for the Democrats.
Yeah.
And
Going
it
to
helped
the
them.
Yankees game, an underground team. You might have heard of them.
Ha!
Trump voters. I was at a Yankee game Saturday night, and I sat next to someone, just because that's how the seats were. We sit in the grandstand.
If believe me, I don't know what happened. I was supposed to be in a skybox. Obviously, the tickets got mixed up, and I had to sit next to a regular fucking person. Holy shit. And that's where I got this idea that maybe we should have an economic agenda. You know what? I got to tell you, Georgie Snuffleup, if you don't sit in the skybox at a Yankees game, sometimes you get good ideas because you bump into what they call the, people. Regular people. Like, he doesn't have a 401k or anything. He's just a jerk.
Turns out $15 an hour would make a bigger difference in their life than 12.
Isn't that something?
Imagine.
Because you gotta sit right next to these motherfuckers. You have to sit right next to them, and they get to talk in my ear. All right, let's keep going.
I'm proud to be a deplorable voter, a truck driver. This economic message platform is going to resonate. It's what we were missing, and it's not going to be baby steps. It's going to be bold. We're
So wait a minute.
coming out with it this summer.
Oh, so it's gonna be bold, not baby steps, and they're coming out with it this summer. He's admitting right now, Ron. He is admitting that they haven't had an economic agenda. They
just
haven't
left it out. They were like, so what does a major political party need? Let's see. A scapegoat, someone to blame, some beanies, some scarves. I think we're good.
We're pink
good.
scarves. Get a pink scarf for Cory Booker.
I think we got it. I
Got
can't
it
think
covered.
of anyone got. We're still cool with gays because the public said so, right? Okay.
Right?
We're done. We're good here. I can't think of anything
What
else.
does a political party need? You need scapegoats. You need fundraisers. You need smear merchants. And
Russia.
That's
Russia.
And Russia. Oh, maybe we could get a bold economic agenda to help people. Oh my God, we were forgetting that.
Snap.
Why didn't WikiLeaks fucking tell us that?
I thought we were set. We just got Bernie's email list. Thought we were good. Thought we got it all.
He literally just admitted that they haven't had a plan, a bold agenda, nothing. Even though Bernie's been screaming about it while packing fucking stadiums, and they had to cheat him out of the nomination to get it.
We thought people just loved his folk album. We didn't know. We didn't know he had a plan.
Within a month, you will see it, and Democrats will try to pass it legislatively for a year and campaign on it in 2018. It's what we were missing in 2016 and in the past. We know that. When you lose an election, you don't blame other people. We're missing in 2016 and in the past. We know that. When you lose an election, you don't blame other people. You blame yourself.
Oh.
Jimmy, are you okay? Jim?
I'm sorry, I fell off my chair. I'm sorry, that one actually made me fall off my chair. That one actually made me fall off my chair. Hang on, I got to play that again.
16 and in the past, we know that. When you lose an election, you don't blame other people. You blame yourself.
Could you tell the rest of your party that, plus everyone at MSNBC and the New York Times and the Washington Post? Could you tell everyone else that? because they've been gaslighting the rest of the country at the top of their lungs since the fucking election. It's Jill Stein's fault. It's Bernie Bro's fault. It's millennials' fault. The goddamn millennials' fault.
Oh, don't get me started.
It's the racists' fault. It's misogynists' fault. It's hatred's fault. It's the Russia's fault. It's Russia. It's Russia's fault that they lost. Now I don't know if you heard glasses-less Jagoff say that it's nobody else's fault. I was sure it was my fault. There's people on Twitter today still telling me it's my fault. Isn't that weird? So what this is Chuck Schumer saying is, look, we tried to distract. We thought it was working. In fact, it did work. We did distract everybody. The mainstream media went along with it. Everybody's talking about, look at what the jackass we turned Keith Olbermann into. The guy's a raving fucking maniac now. He's literally foaming at the mouth on a daily basis over nothing. That's what we did. We did that. That's me, Chuck Schumer. We did that. Turns out we were really successful at that. Turns out that doesn't win elections. That still doesn't win elections. So we just lost 4 straight fucking House races. 4 special elections. We're supposed to win them all because of Trump and how unpopular he is. Guess who's more unpopular? Us. Just like Tim Ryan said. So it turns out all that shit you've been doing, all that obfuscating, all that gaslighting of your own constituents, Chuck, turns out that doesn't win elections. Because that's what this is. This is him finally admitting I've been showing you now they're finally coming around.
You know what? I have a theory too, Jimmy. I think that Chuck Schumer puts his glasses back on when he works on that economic plan.
I
think he puts the glasses on, gets some herbal tea, plays a little jazz music, pulls up a Word document, and just goes to town. He's like, what are people into? What did that truck driver tell me?
What are people into? Chuck Schumer. You sure it wasn't feminine? Like, there's WikiLeaks. You don't want to blame WikiLeaks. You don't want to blame Russia. You don't want to blame millennials. You don't want to blame progressives. You don't want to blame purists. That's stunning. Here we go.
Ryan and
We need
others
to do it.
say it may be necessary but not sufficient. Also, they say Nancy Pelosi has to go.
Yeah, they always blame the leader.
Why do they blame the leaders? Everyone knows it's the intern's fault, and if not the intern, it's the custodian. Everyone knows that's who's really running the Democratic Party. Why do they keep blaming the leaders? Come on, be a true leader and fucking pass the buck. That's what you're supposed to do, right? I mean, I'm Chuck Schumer. I'm here to tell you it's not the leadership's fault. People always blame the leaders, and we always know it's either the secretaries, the interns, or the custodians. Everyone knows that. If not them, it's the fucking voters. It's certainly not the leadership. Why would you blame the leaders? What kind of an asshole blames leaders? They always blame the leaders, by the way. Yeah, who the fuck are you supposed to blame, Chuck?
The poor. Right? I mean, aren't we supposed to blame the poor, the disenfranchised? I say we blame the people who are in jail. That's who we should blame.
I say if you have a leader who's grossly unpopular, I say blame everybody else. She's been blaming everybody else. They've been blaming everyone. She even blamed the DNC last week. She said their data was non-existent. They were bankrupt. That's what Hillary Clinton said.
Oh, you know what? We forgot to blame the nurses.
Oh, I should have blamed the
those
nurses.
That's
Right.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, here's back to his great economic plan that's coming out. They don't have it yet. It's still coming out. He's been working on this for months. Hey, Chuck, I can fix your fucking economic platform in 5 seconds. Ready? Single payer, end the wars, invest the money back here, free college, livable minimum wage.
Green Deal.
Green New Deal. Boom!
See, I can do it in 3 words to make it even easier for him. See Bernie Sanders.
Ha.
That's it. All he's got to do.
No, but we got to work on this.
I think if we come up with this strong, bold economic package, it will change things around. That's what we were missing. People don't like Trump. He's at 40%. But they say, what the heck do the Democrats stand for? Ryan has a point here. We better stand for something, and it can't be baby steps. People, Democrats, are going to be pleased. I'm talking to Bernie Sanders. I'm talking to Joe Manchin. This is going to be really something that Democrats can be proud of. And
yeah, especially since he's getting advice from Bernie Sanders and Joe Manchin. I asked Bernie Sanders something, and then I asked Joe Manchin, and he tells me the opposite. Then I ask FDR, and I ask Grover Norquist. then I asked Newt Gingrich, and then I asked Jesse Jackson. What the fuck? I asked Bernie Sanders. He tells me to do this, and then Joe Manchin tells me to do the opposite. I'm listening to everybody. Again,
Unity.
like it's a mystery. Like it's still a mystery what the fucking problem is. Now at least he knows it's an economic problem, but he's just not sure what it is. It's economic. I had to sit next to a fucking regular commoner at a Yankees game. Turns out economics are important, but I'm still not sure exactly what about the economics are important. I just have to figure that part out.
We're going to go to some more baseball games, maybe do a focus group if they let us. Get some bobbleheads to the people that participate.
Maybe
We're going
a
to figure
group
this
huddle.
shit out.
I love how he pretends like it's some kind of a fucking Rubik's Cube. Yeah, I've been working on this for a month. It's going to take at least another month. What?
My wife's going to proofread it. I'm like midway through the first draft, I swear.
But things have been crazy. A lot of stuff slipping through the cracks. So we're going to get to it. Things have been crazy. We got our floors redone. All the shit's out of the house. There's a lot of stuff going on. You got a guy. What will that package look like, Chuck? Will it include Bernie Sanders' package? Because that's all you need to do. He's still acting like it's a mystery. He's still acting like it's a Rubik's Cube. Oh, we're going to become a party with an economic message. And all it took was to be completely wiped out at every level of government. That's all it took. All it took was to have bigger income disparity since the Gilded bigger than the Gilded Age. Our income disparity. We're getting back to mid ages now. That's all it took. And Chuck Schumer, he woke up. This is a fucking leader. Again, remember why they call him a leader. Not because he's a leader, not because he's smart, not because people want to follow him, not because he has good ideas. He's a leader because he sucks more cock on Wall Street than anybody else, and he gets more money to give to his party. That's why. Because he's a bigger fucking sellout than anybody. That's why he's called a leader. The opposite. Black is white, up is down, in is out, and leaders are now weak-willed motherfuckers who do the bidding of the powerful. That's called a leader. That's why it's a year and a half after Bernie Sanders started his campaign, and he's starting to wake up that we might need an economic message. How is it that a jag-off fucking nightclub comedian was on this way before the guy whose whole life is about politics? His whole life! You know why? Because I'm not paid to not understand the problems of Americans. I'm paid to understand the problems of Americans. I mean, I'm not paid. Believe me, if someone paid me $30,000 a day like Rachel Maddow, I would not understand the problems of Americans too. I don't know where to go to sell out. I'm willing. I'm waiting. Who do I call? What door do I have to knock on? I've got no offers to sell out, but I will. If someone, $2 million, and that's it. $30,000 a day, actually. So there you go. Democrats waking up. Chuck Schumer. Hey, it's only another month. Maybe we have to lose 2 or 3 more special elections, and then I'll have my economic plan. This guy's a fucking leader. He doesn't know what he should be doing. He didn't see this coming. We're still waiting. Going to take another month. I could come up with an economic plan in 5 fucking seconds. Why is it going to take you another month, Chuck? Oh, I know, because you have to wait till you have another meeting with Lloyd Blankfein, and then he's going to tell you exactly what you can tell people. Right, Chuck? Because there ain't nothing Chuck's going to propose that Lloyd Blankfein didn't first okay. Jamie Dimon and Lloyd Blankfein told Chuck Schumer, yes, you can do this. Yes, you can say this. No, you can't. No, you can't. That's why he has to wait. Hey, the next live Jimmy Dore show is July 17th. That's right, July 17th. That's a Monday in Burbank, California. Get your tickets right down here or go to jimmydorecomedy.com. July 17th, Burbank, California, live Jimmy Dore show.